We're back with Everyday Woman, and understanding food labels is so key to eating healthy, but they can be so confusing. So we have Alicia here to help break them down. So Alicia, what do we need to look for on the food labels?
Okay, so when you're looking at a food label, what's the first thing that most people look at? Calories. But that's actually one of the things you should look midway through or even at the bottom of the list, because a lot of times you don't even know what you're eating. So I like to look at the ingredients first. So I work backwards a little bit.
Kind of from the down
I go down and then up and down. So I start with the ingredients, and if you can't pronounce anything in there, or if there's a few things you can't pronounce, skip it. If there are...
Which is majority of things out there.
I know, right? Because that's how you know it's highly, highly processed, which is something you want to skip anyway. But if you do recognize all the ingredients, look to see what the first few are, because the first few that are listed are the ones with the highest amount. So if the first ingredient is unbleached flour, then that means that that's the majority of the product is made from that.
And speaking of breads, I mean, we should definitely be avoiding those unbleached or enriched flours.
Yeah, one of the breads that I highly recommend are Ezekiel, and they have them in all flavors. They have original, they have raisin, and it's just, it doesn't have that high content of unbleached white flour.
Can you find this anywhere?
Yeah, Trader Joe's, Vons, Ralph's, they all have them.
But now, so the key is, because I have bought those breads and, you know, left them there for a day or two, and then all of a sudden I'm like, green bread. I didn't know I bought green bread.
So that's a great thing you brought up. A lot of people always tell me, they're like, my bread's going bad so fast. That's a good thing. So here's
what, food's supposed to go bad?
So, what? Yeah, listen, if you put something on the floor and you leave it there, it needs to rot. So if you take something that's highly processed, put it on the floor, and then you take a piece of fruit, put it on the floor, or, you know, a good, like, solid nutrient dense food, one is going to go bad, the other is going to stay the same exact way. So you want that thing that's going to go bad, but a way to work with that is put it in the freezer. So that's a great way to, you know, make it last a little bit longer, and maybe pull out two pieces of bread at night so it defrosts by the morning, or just toast it in the morning even if it's frozen, just like you would with an egg.
That's a really good point. Yeah. You know, it's that you can still have it, you just need to plan ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
And not that ahead.
Yeah.
What about serving sizes? What do we have to keep track of? Because, I mean, I think that's what messes up the calories as well.
So that's the second thing that I look at after ingredients. That's a great thing you brought up. So with serving sizes, you can have, for example, a bag of chips, it may say 10 servings per bag, and 10 servings is 10 pieces. So if 10 pieces is 200 calories, and there's 10 servings in there, if you eat an entire bag of that chips, you just ingested 2,000 calories.
Ooh,
right there. Yeah, and you don't realize it because you look at it and you're like, oh, 200 calories, no big deal, I can do it. So yeah.
What about sodium? Is that something we really need to worry about? Or, I mean, if I'm just eating regular foods, and, I mean, what do I need to worry about with sodium?
In this day and age, unfortunately, it is something that we need to think about, not necessarily worry about. You can use, so if you're adding salt to your foods, that's fine if it's something that's not added in. But if you're buying one of those cans of soup, or you're adding, you know, don't add salt, and try to reduce it, or even blend it with water.
Oh. What about low fat or fat free? I mean, is that good? Does that mean I should eat as much as I want?
That is an amazing thing that we could talk about forever, but a great example, I'm going to bring it up real fast, is when you buy something that says 98% fat free, 99% fat free, that pretty much means that there is a ton of fat in there, but the fat is calculated by the weight of the product. So if it's a soup, then that means that the percentage of fat is low, and then they add a ton of water to make it look like it's low fat, but really there's a lot of fat in there.
Tricky.
Yes.
Okay, well, you can get more of Alicia's tips at fitnessstationla.com.